So you want to be a personal trainer. Well, let's dive into it. Today, we're gonna dive into what it's really like to be a personal trainer, what you should look out for, what the pros and cons might be, and etc. So let's just talk about it. So just to give you some backstory, I was a personal trainer for over 3 years. I've worked with all kinds of clients, and whether they be complete novices or people that are unfortunately going through some kind of rehabilitation, whatever the case is, I've worked with them. So first up, let's talk about what being a personal trainer is actually like. As you can imagine, a typical day for a personal trainer can really range from all kinds of responsibilities. You have to design workout programs for your clients, you'll have to do some kind of one-on-one or even a small group session with your clients. You have to monitor your client's progress and make any kind of adjustments that need to be made. And sometimes it's going to involve cleaning up equipment, because obviously if your client has used that equipment, you want to clean it because you don't want to leave it a mess for the next person. And a big thing that a client asks for from a personal trainer are nutritional advice. Now, you just want to be a little bit wary because you want to make sure that it's going to be within your scope of practice to actually give nutritional advice, because at the end of the day, you're not a nutritionist. So you want to just kind of be careful with that area there. So personal training, it's not lifting weights and shouting encouragements at your clients. No, it's about building your relationship with your client. You want to make sure that you understand your client's needs, but that also means you want to keep them accountable and keep them motivated as well. There are a couple of things that people that want to become personal trainers should know and be wary of, because I went through the exact same thing. I fell in love with the gym. I fell in love with lifting weights. And as simple as that, as I got better and as I understood more, eventually I got to the point where I want to share my knowledge with people, and I want to share my love for the gym and hopefully motivate other people to also enjoy the gym as well, because for some, the gym is a scary place, and I understand that. First is that you're not just a trainer, right? Sometimes you're a coach, sometimes you're a therapist, sometimes you're just a cheerleader. Clients will share personal challenges with you, right? Because you spent hours with this person, you're gonna kind of run out of things to talk about, so then you kind of make up more stuff to talk about in between breaks, right? So you have to understand that you gotta be empathetic, and it's a crucial component of the job. Second, the unconventional hours. You're gonna run on weird times, right? You're gonna have early mornings, you're gonna have late evenings, or even the weekends, because it's the most common. So at the end of the day, you're kind of going with your client's schedule, right? You don't make your own schedule, you kind of work your schedule around them. So most clients like to book sessions outside of their work hours, which is their typical 9 to 5. So you have to understand that you have to be flexible. Third thing is self-promotion or marketing, right? It matters, because if you're an independent personal trainer or you're working in a gym, you still have to kind of put yourself out there and build your client base somehow, right? And obviously with social media, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, maybe Facebook, I mean, these are kind of a non-negotiable. I feel like you should have all of these set in place, because you gotta be ready to market yourself. And number 4 is the continuous learning. You have to understand, just because you get your license doesn't mean that's the end. Trends, techniques in fitness always evolve, and you're gonna have to go through continuous training and continuous learning. Not just because of that, but also the industry kind of forces you to anyway, because the certifications go on a renewal basis. You have to go through these courses to earn credits like every other post-secondary, and to make sure that you're getting those credits that allow you to become eligible for that renewal process. So what are the pros? What are the pros of being a personal trainer? Firstly, it's super impactful, it's super rewarding. Needless to say, you're helping someone achieve their fitness or health goals. So that in and of itself is super rewarding. Secondly, flexibility. Especially if you're an independent, you have much control over your schedule and how you want to kind of go around it. But again, you gotta kind of put a star next to flexibility, because again, yes, you can be flexible, but you kind of have to work around your client's schedule. So number 3, variety. No 2 days are gonna be the same. No 2 clients are gonna be the same, right? Which keeps your work very interesting and hopefully keep you more engaged. 4, it's personal fitness. I mean, needless to say, you're already in that environment, so most likely you're in it for the love of the game, so you're gonna stay fit yourself. Number 5 is growth opportunities. In personal training, the world's your oyster. You can kind of niche into whatever field you want to go into. You can open your own studio, whatever the case is. You can always branch off and do something else. That being said, of course, there are cons to being a personal trainer. Number one is income unpredictability. You have to be okay knowing that your income will be somewhat unpredictable, especially if you're just starting out or you're heavily relying on seasonal clients. You kind of have to be okay with knowing that your income is not going to be a fixed rate. Secondly, it's physical demands. On the contrary, yes, you think as personal trainers, you're kind of just standing there, making sure that your clients are safe and motivating them. Honestly, it is a lot of work. It is a lot of standing around. It is a lot of social engagement because you have to make sure that your client is motivated, and you'll have to kind of be upbeat, because if your trainer isn't upbeat, how will a client be upbeat? Number three is burnout. I've had days where I had clients back to back to back, which isn't a bad thing. It's better than having no clients at all. But having said that, having multiple clients and juggling through multiple expectations throughout the day, it can be mentally draining. Number four is client retention. Not everyone's gonna stick around. So you gotta find ways to make sure that you're providing enough value to your clients and the clients likes you enough to kind of stick around. If you are serious about becoming a personal trainer, certifications are a key. And I'm only saying this because most of the time, not many people go directly to the independent route. Most people go work out of a gym somewhere or something like that. And these commercial gyms, when they hire personal trainers, obviously they're only gonna hire the ones with credentials. So there are a bunch of certifications out there. I'm only just gonna name a few. You have NASM, ACE, NSCA, and specifically within my region, British Columbia, you have BCRPA personal training certification. Now, I'm not gonna say one is better than the other because I feel like that's not really fair to say. At the end of the day, a personal trainer is only as valuable as what he or she knows, not just because of, this person has ACE or this person has NASM. I went with ACE just because I knew I was going to be working with general population more so than your athletes or anyone else. And I found the process of getting the certification for ACE seemed to super easy. You just basically take an exam and you're good to go, right? But as I mentioned before, within my region, there is the BCRPA personal training certification. It is a much longer process to get that. I think it's just as useful as any other certification, but I could be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But I just know that BCRPA is somewhat limiting because obviously it's within BC, whereas for ACE, it's recognized internationally, it's recognized worldwide. So if I were to pack up and leave maybe to Korea or something, then I could still technically be a personal trainer in Korea. So you have more flexibility with certain certification versus others. But of course, at the end of the day, every personal trainer will also need their CPR and AED certification as well, right? Which isn't that difficult. I think it's one weekend, right? Saturday, Sunday course for 8 hours each. Nevertheless, feel free to research, which certification aligns best with you, because at the end of the day, they all have different costs, durations, specializations, so you just want to make sure you do your research. So is being a personal trainer for you? If you love fitness, if you enjoy helping others, and you don't really mind the hustle, it's great. Now, that all being said, you're probably wondering why I'm not a personal trainer anymore. It's simple as I fell out of love with it. When I first initially started being a personal trainer, I was super motivated. I was diligently tracking my clients' progress, making sure that they were feeling okay about the programs and making sure that they're feeling good and seeing results and etc. And I'm a very intrinsically motivated person. And for you as a personal trainer, you have to know that some of your clients are going to be driven by extrinsic motivation, and extrinsic motivations can always change, right? It can be a good thing, it can be a bad thing. Your clients may want to go train, your clients may flake out on you, and it's gonna happen. That's just human nature, and you have to be okay with it. But for me, after doing it, for a couple of years, I kind of felt burnt out about it, because to be brutally honest, I wanted to help people, but I didn't want to help people that no longer wanted to help themselves anymore. And that is kind of when I figured out that, personal training may not be for me anymore. If I can see it in your face that the gym is the last place you want to be, I can't do anything for you. There's no magic words I can just spout and you'll instantly feel better. There is no such thing. And for me, it got to me to the point where I'm getting real tired of having to try to motivate somebody that doesn't even want to be motivated, that doesn't even want to be there. And it takes a mental toll on you. And for me, that's when I kind of realized, hey, you know what? Maybe this isn't for me anymore. I still love training. I got into the game because I love training and I wanted to help other people love it as well. But at the end of the day, some people are just not going to love the gym the way that I would love the gym, right? Some people, and which is fine. And there's nothing wrong with that. There are people that love sports, right? There are tons of people out there that still prefer to just go into like an intramural league or, go play handball or volleyball or basketball or badminton or any of those sports, right? Or maybe they just prefer hiking or outdoor activities, and that's fine, right? But for me, as a personal trainer, having to try to motivate people that don't want to be there, it really got to me. And at the end of the day, I was like, if I don't feel like helping you anymore, then I'm doing you a disservice as a personal trainer. That is the reason why I decided to not be a personal trainer anymore. But either way, I still wanted to kind of share my experience of being a personal trainer with somebody that might be interested in becoming one. So if you're a trainer or you're thinking about becoming a trainer, just let me know down in the comment section any questions that you might have. I'll try my best to answer them. Anyway, thanks for watching. Peace.